Welcome to the chat box, everybody. We are your one and only mental health podcast here in the community. We come to you from High Five Access Media. I'm Liz, my co-host Jen Sido, and we're super happy to be here today with a very special human. Look at that face. Isn't she the cutest thing ever? This is CeCi Zak, everybody. Now, probably, I would say, a good percent of you know CeCi from just being out and about and being part of our altruistic community because you get involved with so much. You're here to talk about a couple of things, but
Wait, can I just stop you right there?
Why?
I'm really honored with that introduction.
Really?
Yeah, like I never got an introduction like that. Like people think people know me. I don't. I'm not so sure that's
I do
true.
think people know you because whenever we're in the same group, everybody's CeCi.
No.
So there you have it. Well, we do travel in a little bit of the same circle, so it's kind of fun to see.
That's true.
How and even Jen, like we all get involved with people and organizations that mostly give back because that's just our nature.
That is 200% correct.
Wow, 200. I wish I gambled today.
There's always the rest of the evening.
Yeah, we got to take a trip to
Blackhawk.
I always wanted to take a trip to Black Hawk, but I never did.
Well, the weather's good for you. We can make it there.
I don't think the weather matters. Okay, so listen.
I was talking about the Vail Pass. I don't know what you were talking about.
A pass of sorts. This is going to be a really fun podcast today. I'm really happy to have you here, though. This is great. There's a lot of shit going on right now in our world, and I feel like we're all more on edge and more divided than ever. And that being said, being a woman who is, okay, so we have our 40s and then 60s and 60s. And when you look back on your lives, did you ever expect to be living in the world we live in right now?
Never. Oh, God, no.
No.
Absolutely not.
No. I mean, we were free, happy, spirited, filled with adventure, and
Women had rights.
women had rights. And you know what else? Nobody ever said who they voted for when they did the vote. Do you remember way back in my day, we hid the fact that we liked politics. And we did. We really did. Like, nobody talked about who they voted for. You went in your booth, you hid around, you hid there like a troll. You did your little thing. And then you exited the booth. But like nobody ever talked openly about politics or who they voted for. That was like their secret. Well, people, bring it back inside because it's dividing the world. But why I brought that up is because it doesn't matter what age you are, especially like we have the Gen Zs. The Gen Zs. I call her Gen Z, but there's also the Gen Zs. That's so funny. I just caught that. But that's the youngest generation who are, sadly enough, as mad and upset and frustrated with everything as we are later in life. Now, the plan when you think when you're getting older is to relax and to find peace and to find calm. And when things around you are in turmoil, it's almost impossible to do for many of us. Not for all of us, but for many of us.
Yes.
It's a really hard thing to do. So the reason why I love you so much is because you are empowered and you are independent and you are just striking every chord for any woman that I know that's even, let's say, over 50 years old that feels like their life is like blech at this point. Because a lot of women, when they start getting older, they either get consumed with how they look or they just kind of give up altogether.
Are those the only two options?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's no middle of the road. We either go way up or down. But the truth is,
I'm here to prove that differently today.
I know,
Excellent.
and
Thank
that's
you.
why, thank you for being here. No, this is why I have you here. You do something special. First, I want you to talk a little bit about yourself. I know you hate doing that, but I want everyone to understand what your organizations are and what you're involved with here in our community, and the reason why you have become involved with so many great things. And then we're going to talk about, this is called 60 for 60.
Yes, what I'm doing in my life is when I turned 60, I said I was going to do 60 new things in the year that I was 60.
Ooh.
That's madness, and I love it. At this, it's kind of like a bucket list on steroids.
It is. It
Yeah. I started thinking about my bucket list. I'm like, God, all I want to do is pet an elephant. I know. I gotta
We
find
can make
more.
that happen.
I need to have more things happen in my life. That I've done so much weird stuff in my life. I'm like, I just want to be that person that says,
Is that on your 60 and 60?
my 60 is 60 is 60 stretches and then 60 winks. But I find it fascinating, and I really do. Honest to goodness, though, I have a young heart and a young spirit, and I do not want to feel like an old lady. I don't want to grow old, and I want to stay moving and healthy and vibrant. But a lot of the times we become depressed, especially as women. Men too. I'm not saying they don't experience this, but men, they look hot as they get older, and they're a little proud of that extra little belly and whatever else they get. But
Can you jiggle again like that?
the only thing I
don't
move
have
with the half-size boobies. But for women, I have literally become virtually depressed over aging, not only because of the hot flashes that burst out in the middle of the night and you don't know if you're going to be like this today or you're going to be like this today, but also just the things that happen to your body and the changes that come about. And, for a lot of women, it's a very hard mental road to go down. And so I have you here to prove that getting on with life is literally just that. Getting on with life.
I like that.
Ooh, I just gave
Getting
myself the
it on.
goosebumps.
Yeah.
That was like really fun, tingly. So that's why you're here. But let's first of all open up for you a little bit, and let's talk about all the things that you're doing here in Eagle County, because you're just so fun.
Well, thank you so much, and I love you to pieces
Aw.
as well. For many of you, you probably don't know, Liz and I met on TV8 when she was doing Good Morning Vale, and I was doing Good Day Vale.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and we had a great time, and she always made me laugh, and I probably made her cry.
No.
But, I'm just going to start with the fact that when I moved, I moved here for half a season to teach skiing, and I got diagnosed with heart disease the May after the 2018-2019 season, and I thought I was going to die.
Yeah. How scary was that?
It was extraordinarily scary. And so if I'm 60 now and that minus 6, 7, I was in my young 50s.
Wow.
And I had every intention of going back to Manhattan to the high-powered job and, working on Madison Avenue and living.
No stress at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I decided I better take care of my heart.
Yeah.
And they couldn't figure it out. And so here I am 5 surgeries later, and we still don't have it completely under control. Point being is that ended up being a huge life quake for me.
Wow.
And
A life quake.
You like that term?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you gave me the goosies.
Yeah.
Okay. Life quake.
But it was a life-altering moment, and I have had a lot of things, like we all have had a lot of things happen, but my health had always been my stability, and being outdoors and hiking and biking and skiing are my loves. And then all of a sudden, I learned that this may not be the case. You fast forward 2 years, I got my heart situation kind of under control, but it's still not where I want it to be even today. But I woke up one morning and I said, I'm going to live until I'm 90.
Yes.
Like, I realized that life quake was just part of the journey, and that I'm going to find a way to get stronger and better and healthier. And I decided I want to live until I'm 90. And just turning
Wow.
60, you say to yourself,
Wow, there's 30 more years to
exactly.
go.
So what are you going to do?
Bang my head
Right?
against a wall.
Yeah. What are you going to do? And so I started doing some research in the U.S. and America about what's out there to teach people on how to live your best life in your third. So I call.
Oh, that's right. I was trying to remember what you called it. The
Yep.
third. Because I went to a very wonderful event that you held at your house.
Yes, my business launch party.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is when you launched your business, and it was really special. And we learned a little bit about the third.
Third.
And it's not what you're thinking.
Now, and so the third is just the third half of your life, and we work so hard to save up, and most people call it retirement, But when I did research here in the Valley, we live in Happy Valley, and I was like, all right, well, I'm going to research people that are of this age group, and they live a very joyous, fulfilled, and free
healthy life, too.
That's right. And so thanks to Vail Symposium, I interviewed and surveyed their membership. And they gave me some great insight on what I call the 5 Ps. And we don't need to get into the 5 Ps, but what they
You
did
could say, I like the P's.
well, it's just
Now I have to pee.
not yet, girl. You haven't drunk enough water. Yeah. But it's about having a well-balanced life and making sure that all of those stories and all of those beliefs that you had that have been holding you back from the things that you've always wanted to do, even from a child, are possible in your third. And it should be the happiest time. I'm so passionate about that.
Oh, my gosh.
So one thing led to another, and I started a business. I did this research. I'm writing a book right now. I did a retreat actually at the Knapp Family Ranch in late fall, and I'm going to do another one in spring, and I'm coaching people. And so I'm doing a lot of things to help people that they need to figure out how to live their best life, because you only got one.
Right.
And, I too can fall off Vail Pass in a car tomorrow, and I want to live my healthiest life and my best life and my happiest and joyous life right this moment.
So you bounce when you fall off of
Well, now, yeah, this
You're
is
so
true.
healthy, you'll just bounce
there
back
you go.
up.
So
But I get
that's
what
the-
you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, so that's the work that I'm doing, and I'm, hoping to help people recognize it's really important to invest in yourself at this stage in life. And Liz, you talked about taking care of the outside. There's a lot of men and women in this valley that take care of the outside, and you know what I'm talking about. It's either a little nip and tuck here, a little squirt here, a little
Squirt?
Yeah, Botox.
Oh.
Yeah. What were you thinking?
Nothing at all.
Whatever esthetician, or they have trainers to do body work. Mm-hmm. But I find, to the point of the mental health, that they don't like spending money on themselves. It's like they think they know everything about who they are at this age, and don't tell me anything more.
Mm-hmm. Really? I have a face fund.
Yeah. Well, you have a face fund for
When I'm ready to fund my face.
Okay, right. That's the outside. Right.
That's still the outside part. But I do know that the inside is always a work in progress for most of us. And for females,
correct.
if we all stick together and we kind of stand up for each other and be there as support instead of that catty aspect of things. And it's been a little
mean
tough.
like those women that want to eat their young, or they look you up and down, or
yeah.
they take a fork and like shove it in you, and
Yeah. Like them. But the look up and down women are my favorite. Hello.
we don't have any of those here in this valley.
They're my favorite. But my point is that that's a different personality altogether, and it has to do with entitlement. But women, no matter what your wallet looks like or what your skin color looks like, if we all stuck together, we would
so
be
true.
in such a much better place. I see women catting out on Facebook. It's like, what the hell, lady? You just called her the worst thing I could imagine. I would never say that to someone's face. So my point is that sticking together as a crew, like you said, you had a retreat and things like that. If we could all get together and do things like that. Now, retreats are not always applicable for people that don't have the extra few $1,000s to do, but daily lives, getting together and have lunches or just a coffee to start your day with your girls, just to get the mindset right and to feel each other out and see if everybody's okay. Like, I want to check in on my friends all the time. I want to just say, hey, I just want to know how you're feeling, because I know everyone's feeling all these crazy feelings lately. And so
I'm going to get a little nerdy on you.
Oh, cool. Well,
exactly what you just said is been articulated by a gentleman by the name of Arthur Brooks, and he's a neuro something out of the Harvard, Cambridge area.
See how smart I am?
Well, exactly. I just wanted you to all know that, but I don't even know what kind of specialty he is.
neuro something.
Yeah, but he just wrote a book called From Strength to Strength. And he focuses on this time of age where anatomically and cognitively our bodies are shifting in whatever way they're going, but our minds actually go from being fluid and where we can connect the dots really, really fast to
Speed bump.
your age and mine, which
Speed bump.
is about wisdom. Yeah, it's about... that's what happens with our brain is that there is a speed bump, and then all of a sudden
You're like,
it doesn't go as fast.
No.
But where people benefit and where we benefit is the wisdom and bringing that. And
even if it takes 10 minutes to get to our point, we still know that we have the wisdom in there. But you're right, though. It takes a minute to sometimes gather the thoughts that, like, it wouldn't.
But they're much wiser and more
They
experienced.
are. Well, yeah, for sure.
Than what they were 30 years ago. But the reason why I brought this up is he also mentioned that the most important thing in this age is our friends and our community. And if we don't have it, those of us, you and I'm looking at you, Liz.
You're my golden girl, number
60
one
and
pick.
above, there you go.
I'm getting the house and we're doing the Golden Girls.
You want to join us?
Yes, absolutely.
You might have to
right.
clean up because you're too young. Make her clean up after us.
Okay, I'm out.
I am pretty neat, though. Just
No.
saying, I am pretty
And
neat.
I am too, and I love you, and you could be my golden girl for the rest of my life.
But the thing that Arthur Brooks said was that it is your community is like the pillar of the value you are in this world because of the value you're giving to the community and the value that you're getting from the community. And then the other thing he said too is that you really need to have at least 3 best friends that would travel to the other end of the earth to help you if you needed help. And it's at this time of our life that we need that in the third. So to that point about
3 best
those,
friends in the third. 3.
well, 3 people that would do anything and drop anything at one moment in time.
I
and
know
help
one
you.
right there.
That's awesome. But those women that look you up and down, and we don't have any of them here, but my guess is that they kind of struggle with that. And my guess is that they're not very happy either.
Do you want to hear something funny? One time when we had Sports Authority, I tripped over my bell bottoms and fell flat on my face in where the doors kept opening and closing. And people were just walking over me. Women my
kidding
age
me.
were just like, oh, yeah, you look stupid. So you know that there's a lot of people that wouldn't do a thing to lift you up, literally.
Yeah, and that I have no place for people like that in my life.
They're
None.
everywhere. So the problem is, and that Jen and I have discussed this before, finding your right crew, finding the people that you feel like you could call your sisters and your family and your confidants, and not finding out that they're so much different than you thought. And that happens a lot, especially, I don't know why here, but I mean, I've had more girlfriend breakups than I've had before my husband in men breakups, maybe. But
And I hope that you're okay with that because
I have to be.
Well, and my assumption is that they probably draw energy from, like they take away energy from you
Like vampires.
instead of giving you energy.
Correct.
And those people we need to divorce in our life. That's
Yeah.
the other thing that Arthur
And it's
Brooks
weird
said.
that people that don't want those people in our lives draw them like flies.
Yeah, we do. You know why? Because we're very compassionate. We're very compassionate, and they're drawn to us because I don't think that they have a lot of support around around them.
So then they
Community
are drawn to
support.
us for the compassion, and then I just step on us like a doormat.
That's correct. Yep.
Yippee!
Yeah.
I love life.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? I am really. I mean, I struggle a lot getting older with the fact that I don't know if a lot of people are like this, but this is so dumb, but I'm afraid to die. So like I get more and more afraid as I get older, as opposed to like, oh, I'm just going to settle in my wiseness. And I'm like, oh God, I'm closer to death, And I know that it's not the way to be, but I do think like that because I've had a crazy life and it's my time now to just enjoy and feel,
Right.
well, I thought at peace, but things are happening right now. But, I just wanted to enjoy these years like that. But then you start thinking of the inevitable. So how do you get from this point to that point and live a full life without worrying, waking up fearful every day?
The first thing for me is around mindfulness, and thanks to the Valley and the people here, I've learned how to reshape my thoughts. So that's just one avenue, and it's through meditation and breath work. And that just gives me clarity to focus on the things that I want to do versus focusing on the death. And
I focus on things I want or death.
but it's hard. If you got that in your mind, it's hard to get
It's
it
so
away.
weird. It's so weird.
And so I've been learning a lot of mindfulness tips and tricks to be able to shift that. But the other thing that you alluded to earlier is that when I turned 60, I decided to do 60 things for my 60th, to just go out there and say yes to everything.
Wow.
And so I have been saying yes to
Did
everything.
any of it hurt?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I had metal taken out of my arm because I had surgery 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and then it still hurt. And I've said, all right, well, I'm going to have the metal taken out of my arm. And that was the first time. And the surgeon, whose name won't be repeated here, but the surgeon didn't want to take the metal out. And I don't know why, but we did.
Because he thought it would be fun for you to go in and out of the airport.
Oh, yeah.
Just keep watching it go back and forth.
Yeah. So did that hurt? Yeah, but yeah, it's been a lot of fun. And I've just been saying yes to so many things.
And what's think of some, Jen, I'm going to come up with what is the thing that you thought you would never in your life say yes to, and you said yes to? Like the one thing you're like, I can't even believe I did that. Oh my God. Yep. Time to spill.
This one's more practical, more sustainable. I belly flopped into the electrical vehicle market 6 weeks ago.
Wait, what?
So I bought an EV.
Electric vehicle.
Right.
Okay. You belly flopped. I thought you were jumping into the ocean or something.
It was because I didn't have a plug in the house, and I didn't know anything about EVs, and not having another car in this area is not such a great idea. You don't get any mileage. I mean, it's mind-boggling. Since I have the car, I can only go a very short distance before I got to get more electricity.
So I had a Prius once, so it was like half and half or whatever. And when I'd stop, the hybrid.
Right.
So you'd stop for the light, and all of a sudden everything would just go like, did it die? I mean, it's so still and so quiet. You don't even know, unless you go vroom, that the car's still even working.
Yeah, but that's assuming you have enough battery left in the car.
So
to
there's
make
a
it
lot
go
of
forward.
spaces around town that do have the electric
They do.
plug-ins.
They do.
Yeah.
But, I just it's something I've been talking about for 10 years.
Oh, okay. So you really wanted one of those.
Yeah. And I just was like, and I say belly flop in because I did it. I couldn't get an electrician in to put the plug in the house. And so I was going down to Edwards, and I live in Avon. And, every time I need to, and my sister lives on the Front Range, and I go back and forth all the time.
Well, how far can you go on a full charge?
Well, it says 300 miles, but girl, it only goes about 200 max. And what I realize, it's not about the mileage, it's about the percent of juice you have left in a battery.
So do you find yourself staring at the thing all the time?
Totally, all the time.
That would be me, like, oh God, it's like at the bottom. Yeah.
So
kind of like gas, same thing.
That's one that I did, but it's been so much fun. I'm just looking at the silly little things that I've done. Oh, you know what?
These
I
are
went
your
to?
60s?
Yeah, because I posted them all on Instagram, so I'm looking on my Instagram.
All right,
feed.
well, give us some good ones.
Ski-joling. Have you ever been ski-joling?
Ski-joring.
Ski-joring.
Right. It's
in
behind a
Midterm.
horse.
Yeah.
Like you ski behind a horse,
I was
right?
not the one skiing, but they have that annual event. In
Yeah, they have it
Midterm.
in Leadville,
In
too.
Leadville. In Leadville every year.
Yeah.
So I went
That's
to that.
fun. You literally, a horse pulls you while you sled or ski.
Yep.
Hopefully they don't have to poop.
Yeah. I didn't watch that. This year when I go back, I'll have to make sure I watch that. I could see the person behind them going like this,
Well, have you ever been in a
windshield
hansom
wipers.
cab in New York City? They always stop and squat, and you're like, oh, God, it took away the whole adventure.
So how did you pick your 60? Did you do it all up front, or did you do it as
good
you
question.
went along?
No, I did not do it all up front because then I found it very prescribed and that I wasn't saying yes to everything.
Interesting.
And the saying yes to everything, I think, was actually more important than just crossing off bucket list things.
Yeah.
And then what are the things that you learned? So you didn't ask for another one, but I don't know.
We'll keep asking.
Well, I'm going to tell you one about. I just saw these really fuzzy slip-in slippers, and I needed new slippers. Saw them online, and next thing I know, I'm buying them, and I'm so excited because they're so warm and fuzzy, and sit by the fire. And I've never had slip-in slippers before, so this was one of those things that I said yes. So the question is, how do I like those slip-in slippers?
I don't know. Sesame Street, how do you like them?
I'll tell you, I have almost broken my neck 3 times on them because they don't have a back. And for 60 years, I've had backed shoes, and I have slipped going down my stairs. I've got hardwood floors, and I slip going down the stairs.
Oh, girl.
And so those things are getting donated or given away very quickly. But, that's one that.
But at least you tried and tested and realized. Because a lot of people don't even take, you know what I mean? They think about things they want to do, but they won't put their toe in the water, for lack of a better way to describe it. But you know what I mean? Like, is there anything that you ever wanted to do and you didn't do it and you regret? Did you ever think, why didn't I ever do that? Well, you skydived a year ago, so I don't think there's anything left.
You have. So I've skydove, I guess, or dived, but it was not. It was many years ago.
I did not love it. We'll say that.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was going to love it.
I
I'm
would
an adrenaline junkie, but it was absolutely terrifying for me.
Yeah, when you're in the air, it's just.
Well, my guy.
Well, it's only like 30 seconds.
That sucks.
20 to 30 seconds.
One, it hurt. It was actually painful for
Did you get like an instant facelift at all?
Kind of, yeah.
I was hoping it would at least pull your face back, right? That would be nice.
It does. It definitely makes it ripple.
You're not old enough yet to feel it flop.
No, but I went tandem because it was my first time.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't tell me that he was going to loosen the straps. So that they do that to like loosen you from their body, and it's supposed to make you more comfortable. But I didn't know that was going to happen.
Oh gosh!
So he loosened me, and I'm like sliding down from his body, and I was watching the ground. Like, it was absolutely terrifying, and I hated it. And I went with my brother and my son, and my brother's guy told him, warned him that was going to happen. So he's like, oh yeah, he told me that was going to happen. So I think without that warning, I was just absolutely terrified.
Yeah, because you don't know what to expect if you have that happen.
I would have been scared, blank.
Horrified. Yes, exactly. And just to know that this is all that's keeping me intact.
My God. I would have been holding on to his throat.
But the landing was actually good. Yeah. So it didn't hurt or anything like that. It was fine.
She couldn't hang on to his throat because she's on the front of him.
Right.
Yes, so she could.
That's right. Oh my God. See, therein lies my problem with skydiving. You have to depend on somebody else. And it's
Ultimately, I'm glad I did it and had the experience.
Well, you had the experience, so you feel empowered knowing that you've done it.
Totally.
I feel empowered having some tattoos. Good for me.
I don't have that.
You don't.
Zero
it's
tattoos.
painful.
That was one of my first ones.
What'd you get?
I got.
What and where?
It's on my ankle.
Okay.
It's a little heart.
Aw. Yeah, every girl starts off with I almost said a heart. It's right where your nerves all go, too. I mean, you couldn't have picked the worst place to get your very first tattoo. You're like, did your eyes pop out like a cartoon character?
No, but it was when I went to Big Sky. So that was another one. I had never been to Montana, so I went to Big Sky to go ski last year. It just happened to be -20 while I was there. That was the high. But when I got the tattoo, I did ski one day with it, and then it was the day after, and it's plastic wrapped, and so that catches the ink or whatever,
right.
and you don't get it. Well, my girlfriend looked at it, and it was she's like, oh my God, after skiing, she's like, you have got to go fix whatever happened, because it was the red tattoo, and she thought it was blood. And so anyway, it was, but note to self, don't ever get a tattoo on your ankle and go skiing the next day.
Or bartend. I was bartending once, my very first tattoo. I literally had to stop in the middle and go home and elevate because my whole foot was swollen. So the one thing with tattoos with me is I've lived in 9 different states as an adult. So I have, it's kind of like my little weird.
That's not weird. That's
30
awesome.
for 50 or whatever you want to call it. But I've had a tattoo done everywhere I've lived to represent all the places I've been to.
And how do you choose what it is that you're getting tattooed?
It depends on how I feel at the time.
Okay.
You know, like I've had the comedy and tragedy masks. I had those done in California when I was trying to do, I was doing stand up every night, but I was trying to land something. Yeah, I landed more than what I was looking for. LA is a very hard place to live, people. Let's put it that way.
What did you do for Colorado?
Colorado, I know this sounds very strange, but I have a big, beautiful elephant on the back of my shoulder.
She really does have a thing for elephants.
Oh,
doesn't
you
she?
have no idea. Yeah. So I had an elephant done when I came here. And everyone's like, why didn't you do a mountainscape or something? Because that's normal. And I'm not normal. I always wanted a really nice elephant tattoo. So went to the guy in Eagle. I forget his name, but he's really good. A lot of people go to him. But so, yeah, that's my little thing. But now... At the age I'm at, I'm glad I never tattooed anything on certain places because they would be so
Droopy?
Like I never did a sleeve because it would look like an old man's walnut. It went from a flower to a walnut. You know what I mean? So like things like that you have to be careful about. So anyways, when you were talking at your opening for your business, you were talking about some of the 60 things that you have done. And so, what was the bravest 60?
Opening the business.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just never. Yeah, boy, it gets a little emotional. Opening my own business was like something that I never thought I could do. I didn't think I had the capacity or the skills or
Really,
the
I would have never
competencies.
thought that about you.
And because I've worked for big companies and I was always part of an engine. And now not only am the engine and I'm the leader.
You're the fuel.
I'm the fuel, whatever it is I'm doing and I'm having a blast.
Yay.
But I think that most of the hardest thing about that is that I have a vision to change millions of lives so that they live their best life ever in their third. So I'm going to start a movement around reshaping retirement into me-tirement and
Another good coin.
Yeah, and to reach millions of people, I got to really think about how do I get, so the book's one, I'd love to do podcasting at some point and public speaking. I mean, I love speaking and I did a TEDx talk, actually a TEDx Vail talk on this topic last year. And so, I'm looking at creative ways to get to masses of people to kind of, get them a little shaken up and saying, it's not about how much time you left. It's just how you're going to spend it.
Yeah.
And, letting all those beliefs go away that I got to keep working or I don't have any value if I'm not on a board or whatever it may be.
And we spend most of our lives picking on ourselves and telling ourselves the negative stuff. When are you going to finally say, come on, go do it? Just jumpstart and do it.
Exactly. It's just that, and that's what the business was.
What is the business, by the way?
So, as I mentioned, it's coaching. It's retreats, and hopefully I do some on the East Coast as well as here in the Midwest, maybe even on the West Coast. I am. This is scary in general. I'm going to write a book, and so I will write a book. Don't ask me when it's going to be done.
It's
but
okay.
Write a
I've
book.
been writing one, so there you go.
And then the other one's
Scary as hell.
But your book's going to be
My book's
funny
gonna
as hell.
have to go under a pseudonym. Nobody's ever going to look at me the same way again.
How do they look at you now?
Usually with one eye like this and the other one doing a side eye. No, this is remarkable though. What you're showing is that there's no limit to women's empowerment. And just because even if you were like a housewife for many years and then all of a sudden, something happened and you're on your own, it doesn't mean that your life has to just be marked by what you were or who you were
you're
or
absolutely
what
right.
you did. Now it can be marked by who you're going to be.
Yeah.
Who else do you want to hang out with? Your 3 friends. Where do you want to go? Where are some places you've never been to, and things
So you
like
just
that?
named those 5 P's that I was telling you about that need to be well balanced. And
What
you
are?
mentioned, your personal life, your relationships with your intimate partner, your family, and your community, as well as spirituality. I think that's another piece too. Is that if you haven't dabbled in spirituality, it's time for you to figure out.
Well, yeah.
Where do you get faith from? Just
Especially if you're afraid to die.
yeah. Well, okay. Well, that's
that.
a whole nother topic.
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
another podcast.
The whole a
When you want-
Godcast. We got to have a Godcast, everybody. No, it is another thing, but the truth is, finding some spirituality is crucial to getting older because so much is behind us and we don't know what we have in front of us. So we might as well enjoy and embrace everything we have and be grateful for the time we're still here.
That's the key.
Instead of wallowing and worrying and being like me. And it's true. I'm not always like this, but I do fall into my spells. I mean, I do get like, the doomy thing, which is, I'm sure it's natural, but it's also annoying.
And
for
sometimes
me.
for me, it paralyzes me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's what I mean by annoying. Like I'm just like, okay, well, I'm gonna get out of bed at 3:00 this afternoon and not care about anything, and I'm gonna have cake for breakfast.
I was gonna say she doesn't look like the ice cream type. I actually don't take her for the cake type either.
I don't eat cake. I really don't. Let them eat cake. I mean, I love cake. But also, when you go to the doctor and you've hit a certain age, all of a sudden you go, you got a little cholesterol problem. You got some more cholesterol than you never had before. Every woman, and you all understand this because you've had heart issues, so I don't mean to poke fun at all, because I know it's something that's really important. And women are higher... they're more apt to get heart attacks than heart disease.
That's the number one killer,
of
silent
women.
killer of women. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're more prone to it than men. We always see men going, oh, and falling. But women, I know that there are different signs for a woman who's about to have a heart attack. I don't know if you know them all, but I know that all of a sudden you feel like your jaw locks. Like men, they always grab their arm and they feel like something numb. Did you ever have? You didn't never have a heart attack?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I mean, I read about a woman that had them, and she didn't know what the heck was happening to her because she thought she was just, what happened to the whole grabbing the arm thing. Women and men have different.
Propensity for it.
And also different effects. Like you don't know what's happening to you unless you know what's happening to you.
So that's another P, and it's the physical.
I'm filled with pee.
Yeah, you are. It's the physical side of things and proactively taking responsibility for your body. Like, I mean, the days of healthcare, and I was in the healthcare industry for 25 years, they can't do it proactively. We have to do it proactively. And to your point about the symptoms, there are so many blood tests out there today that women could take to know that they're predisposed to heart issues at some point. So that's the physical side of, making sure you're proactively taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
You also mentioned place and your favorite place. And again, this is another P. It's a place where you can find rest, reflection, and rejuvenation. It could be your meditation spot. It could be your favorite hike. It could be your favorite ski run. It could be your favorite room in the house. It could be maybe our third or fourth house. Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah, let me see which one I want today.
Exactly. But place is so important. And it may even just be your bedroom and your bed where you get rest, reflection.
sanctuary.
My
That's
happy
correct.
place is my house. I love being
me
there.
too.
I love
Me too.
surrounding myself with my things and feeling safe and just feeling happy. Where any corner of the... I think my husband thinks I'm bananas because everything has to have something that if you look over there, you're going to see something pleasing. You know, he's like, that one wall is never getting a picture on it. I want one wall, one wall. So, you know, so we do like our safe spaces, and that's very important. And I want to twist it up a little bit because you're 20 years younger. So when you hear somebody like CeCi talk and somebody like me, and now obviously CeCi is more, remember that commercial, Oil of Olay? Don't go all gracefully. Fight it every step of the way. You're too young for that commercial. You do remember
totally
that commercial.
remember
So I always knew I was going to fight it every step of the way. There's no grace here. So, but you have the grace and the eloquence and also the energy to make me want to have that too, which is beautiful because some of us need a boot in the butt. And that you're my boot. Thank you. But so when you see two women that are pretty different in the way they view things at life at 60, what do you look ahead as thinking for yourself? How would you like to feel and about yourself and your mindset in 20 years?
Great question.
You know, I think that our friendship is a huge, you know, reminder of that for me every day. I mean, the energy I think that you exude and that you have, like, you know, far surpasses, you know, a lot of people I know my age, to be honest. And like, but I love that. I love that, you know, it's like, you just embody happiness and joy. And, you know, that's what I also strive for, you know, and I think you see that in women who, you know, who are trying to help others, who are saying yes to things, who are trying to bring joy into their life and, you know, are avoiding being that negative, competitive, you know, nasty person that just
Energy
wants to
sucker?
Energy sucker. Thank you, vampire. I think
Yeah.
you said. Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's a, you know, learning to avoid that and, you know, remove that from my life and continue to surround myself by women, no matter what age they are, who are, you know, pursuing that, you know, because I think you can pursue that at any age. You know, and I had my kids early and I kind of had this rebirth in my 40s where I feel like, oh my gosh, I have this opportunity to rebuild, you know, and like I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
So I feel like, you know, I'm also kind of in the pursuit of what you're in the pursuit of as well, like regardless of age, because like that's what I think makes life interesting. That's what I think makes, you know, life worth living.
Doing
you know,
the things that challenge you.
Absolutely. You know, and putting yourself out of your comfort zone and, you know, being open to growth and to learning and, you know, continuing to.
That's a fourth P.
Oh,
Wow.
It's psychological.
I'm crossing
And
my
it's
legs
living
at
in
this
a
point with
growth.
the peas.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It's a whole. That's a P cast.
Well, this P is not that P, and this one's psychological, and it's living in a growth mindset versus a fixed. And choosing to live in a love-based state versus a fear-based state. And so you have just articulated all that, and it's one of the P's.
Yeah,
and it's very wise, you know, because a lot of people are very lost at 30s and 40s. They're still jammed up as to who they are, what they want to do, and it goes that way. Even for myself, I didn't really know a lot about myself until I stepped out of my comfort zone and stood on a stage and did stand-up comedy in front of a bunch of strangers. But my point is that was one of my, that was my 40 for 40 at the time. But yeah, I mean, you know, when you decide you want to do something, and even if it scares the crap out of you.
Well, I think I also lived for a very long time in that negativity. I was surrounded by that negative energy, and
and that wasn't your fault.
Yes, exactly. You know, but to be, you know, spending a lot of your years in that kind of environment, you know, and once you finally escape that, I feel like, you know, you want to be anywhere but that. And so I think that also catapults me, you know, into this, you know, this world where I want the positivity, and I'm finally able to recognize that I can leave that behind, it, that it is a choice, you know, and like, yes, you aren't always going to be, you know, safe from that kind of negativity, but like being aware of it, you can always.
Without telling the specific instance of how you moved on from that, what was the catalyst inside yourself that kind of you made you say, all right, this is it. I got to make change.
The
in my life.
epiphanous moment.
Yes, that's my word, epiphanous.
I stole it.
Yeah, good job.
Honestly, it was building community.
Yeah.
And once I started in the theater company and met Liz, for instance, like realizing that there are all of these humans that, exude positivity and are striving for things. And, it was really just kind of surrounding myself around that kind of energy for the first time and being outside of it, where I was like, oh, I want more of that.
Yeah.
And I think, once, and it also, I think joining different, immersing myself in different areas in our community here and, starting the podcast and, really kind of, looking into mental health, I think all of those things have led me into that path to continue searching for a more positive future and in a way of life.
You go, girl. I mean,
I know.
we need more people like you in this
Yeah.
world.
You are so strong and you are empowered. And since I've known you a few years, I'm just going to pull this down so people can see your beautiful face. There you go. I just feel like watching you grow in the last, we met at the theater company. Neither one of us have ever done anything in our lives remotely having anything to do with theater. It was about 3 years ago.
That's coming from the comedian. She's
but
never done anything like that before.
That's just therapy. That's a whole different thing. But her and I both tried out for the hell of it roles for a play, and we both landed very important roles for the play, and we just did.
Tony and Tina's wedding.
That's it.
Ah.
But that was my first anything like that ever, ensemble casting, and it was her first thing. Yeah. So to be able to jump out of your comfort zone and do something that's pretty fear and instilling, I think it was great that we had each other, because when we were like a little like freaked out, we were there for each other. So back to what you were saying, when you have some good friends and you do something, at least even if they don't take that ride with you, they're there to catch you. Yeah. Or to pat you on the back or whatever the deal is.
Yeah, I gained a whole huge support system, especially through Liz, but, also with the theater community.
Right.
As we've met
they embraced
people.
you too. They love you. You're. It's a new family.
Totally, and I think that was huge, and that was a big part of it. Was feeling that support underneath,
and it gave you independence, even though it's people to depend on. Yeah. Gave you a sense of independence because they made you realize that you can be who you are.
Well, and when I did the scariest thing I thought I could do, which was being on stage and and performing in front of people in a pregnancy fat suit.
I don't know if I told you I was there opening night. Yes. And by the way, it looked like you just came from Broadway.
Oh my God.
So don't you worry about stepping out of both of you.
This was us putting on each other's makeup.
Like almost crying every night. But and we survived that, and and it was so much fun, and we just that was it was huge, and it was just like, oh my gosh, we can do hard things, and and then it kind of kept making me want to do more of that, and so it's like the more that we push ourselves and do hard things and survive them, and we prove to ourselves like, hey, like you got this, you can do this.
I needed this talk today. I swear, this is so good.
I love that. I'll invoice you at the end of the talk. Just kidding.
Only if it's less than 100 an hour.
Yeah. Well, one of the other things that I've become involved with here that's given me, it's provided a hole, filling a hole for me in passion is TEDx Vail.
Yeah.
And so there's a group of us that are looking to reinstill and bring back the TEDx Vail from the late 2015-16 years when they sold out the Velar or they sold out the Amp.
Yeah, that's how I remember them.
Yeah, and what I would love to see you do is do a TED Talk.
You'd be so inspiring.
You would be so inspiring with that.
Oh, yeah.
And we will...
Oh, my gosh.
We have coaches, and, it is a prescribed amount of time.
Okay.
But I'm going to throw that out there because... We're gonna really start to throw things together for 2027.
I love this.
And so you too, girl.
Well, me,
terrifying,
like I said, there's no time for trauma. No, I'm just kidding. Like you said, there's a time span. I'm like, I do comedy. I know how to. I
You're
do know how to
60,
deal with
60,
time.
You're supposed to say yes.
Yes. Well, I am doing Valley Voices coming up through the Vail Valley Theater Company coming up next month at Route 6?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yes?
Yes.
We think so.
Yeah.
It's usually at Route 6. But just so you guys know, so I am going to share another one of my insane stories of my life that most people, they start off like this.
Don't miss it.
And then they end up like
fantastic
this.
storyteller.
So even if it's tragic, it turns out to you have to laugh at your life, even if there's been some serious tragedies. And I've been through them. I am the poster child for that stuff. But I also, like you said, I try and take life not so seriously, and I do cradle my emotions, and I do take care of myself when something traumatic happens, and I have been there for myself. Maybe not properly, but I've been there for myself. You don't always know what you're doing proper or not, but you learn and you grow. And here I am still talking about it. So there's something to be said about
Inspire
that.
others. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, and Liz and I, we fully believe that there's no stronger tool than storytelling, in a way to connect with people and to heal, sharing your story and having somebody else hear what you went through,
And not judging.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I mean, I still have stuff inside that I haven't talked about in my life because I still feel like there would be a stigma attached to me or a judgment. So there's maybe this many people that know everything, like everything. That would be my husband. But, I'll just never forget, and whether he was a male or a female, I sat down and told him one of my darkest days. We were just chatting, and I just all of a sudden opened up and the floodgates came about. And I told him one of the worst things that's ever happened to me. And afterwards he looks at me and goes, "Want a sandwich?" Like as if I told him I ran away from a bear when I was 10 years old and he didn't catch me. Oh, you know what I mean? No. So what I'm saying is that when you can surround yourself with people that don't all of a sudden change how they see you because of something that's happened in your past or a belief that you have. Like right now, everybody is having different belief systems. And I don't get a lot of them. But I'm not going to, it's hard not to, sometimes we're all human, and you probably say to yourself, why in the world would they think like that? What is wrong with them? I mean, it's a nature way, it's just natural instinct, but then when you think about it, we don't know where their life's been. We don't know how they were raised.
You have no idea.
We know nothing. I watched a girl on a different podcast, and she was one of those people that was hardcore. I'm not getting into politics, but she was hardcore one way. And then she has since exited that way. She was raised super religious to believe one way and one way only. And that is, to me, somewhat brainwashing. But if you're only raised in a certain community
They don't know any
with
different.
only thoughts that you've been given and you don't know anything else, it's not fair to be judgmental of that person because they maybe needed to be woken up or educated or whatever the deal is. So from now on, like I have to hold my tongue when I hear somebody spewing nonsense because I don't know why they're thinking that way. Yeah. And you have to have some
where
grace.
they're at is the way I love to hear it.
What'd you say?
You have to meet people where they're at, and so.
Okay.
Basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
If you're meeting them where they're at and you understand that they came from a certain place, then you can have those conversations.
Right. But if you don't know.
Exactly, and you assume, then you basically close the door on.
And I feel like that's why a lot of doors have closed because a lot of people don't take a moment to think, there's got to be a reason why they believe that way.
And it's my rule of thumb is, especially if I'm with people that really turn me off pretty quickly.
Yeah, I know right away too.
Is that what you think about me?
No, I love you. No, if the hairs on my neck start going.
Well, and the rule of thumb is, what is the one thing I can learn from them in that conversation?
Even if you don't like them.
Even if I don't like them, even if I don't like
That's
what
impressive.
they're talking about. And you know me well enough. Your viewers don't, or your listeners don't yet. But I love to ask questions, and so I'll just think of that one question that maybe I can learn something from them, and so that time ends up not being an energy zapper or a
I
time
like
suck
that.
or whatever.
I mean, that's a super grown-up way to look at things because me, if I don't like someone's like demeanor or personality and what's coming out of their mouth, I'm like Homer Simpson backing up into the bush. You know that GIF thing that they have? That's me. I'm like shrinking away, recoiling. But what a much better attitude to have. And even if you learn something from somebody that's just spewing even hate. I mean, for me, if someone's spewing hate, I get
My guess,
get
though,
mad.
it's not them, and it's not
Right.
their story. It's
and you
someone
have
else's.
to realize that hate is coming from somewhere else, a darker place. And so if you were to stand in front of this person spewing that, and you, instead of recoiling like I would, saying, but let me ask you this, but not like as you're trying to put them down or anyway, but just like maybe a challenge, and then you can get their mind to shift a little bit, and then maybe things kind of switch out, and maybe you've been to a little bit of help for each other, and you don't even know each other.
Exactly.
So you're that's very cool. What can I learn from this crazy maniac in front of me right now?
May we all have the grace and patience.
Let me just say, don't do this in the car. For those of you at home, don't try it at home with people in the car because it's not going to work. But
Well, we have been we've been laughing and talking and all the good stuff for an hour now. So we do have to wrap it up. But I want to give you the opportunity to give us some. Watch me fall apart. Give us some words of your amazing wisdom and what if somebody's watching feeling like I joined a group I know it's dorky, but in Facebook, women over 60. I thought it would be like, everybody like supporting each other and talking about fun things. No, they are miserable.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of miserable. I've been with this guy for 50 years. I think about strangling him in my sleep. I'm like, all right, I'm going to stay on here for comedy, and that's about it because I have a feeling that there's a lot of people that are just not happy in their existence. And how do you just break free from that? And it's just something that one little thing can throw you, like her. Like she just jumped into a new community of theater people, and her whole world changed. And you've taken on a new meaning in life, and your whole world changed. And trust me, the comedy changed my life, and then every job I do works with. I only do things I enjoy now. There's no time clock in my future again. But my point is that what do you, with grace, feel that everybody could relate to in moving on with dignity and growing old with grace and not fighting it every step of the way?
It is really around focusing on what you want in life from now until whenever. And, you're asking for a one simple trick, but it's actually...
come on, pull out your wand.
I'm going to recommend a tool that I use with clients.
Oh, good.
And I set them aside for 2 to 3 hours, and those listening don't have to do this for 2 to 3 hours. But writing 100 things that just interest them. Mm-hmm. And it could be 50 things, it could be 10 things. But if you go back to when you were growing up and say that you wanted to learn how to play baseball and you just never did for whatever reason, it is never too late to pick up a bat and go find or go pick up softball games somewhere. People that have gotten injured along the way, physically injured, and have given up skiing. And I teach skiing, and there's a lot of people that come to me because I'm good with those people, helping them get back into it. But there's so many people that won't get back on skis because they're scared. And I'm like, but you don't have to ski what you skied. You don't have to be on Grouse Mountain or, in the back bowls. You can just do something fun and be out there. And so it's not about that old adage, don't give up. But what I would love for people to do is just do something about it and sit down and write all these things that interest you. Maybe it's learning Spanish, which has been on my list for 5 years. But all
Y
of
mí
us.
también.
Yeah. But take that time and give yourself that gift of just dreaming about things that you haven't dreamt about in a long time, or maybe never have dreamt before, because that's what will change your shift in motivation and get you
I
to be
agree
the
with
graceful and positive and excited.
It's just so weird how your memory works. So you said, think back when you were a child. I immediately saw myself under one of those big trees playing with a caterpillar because I was fascinated with caterpillars. They were fuzzy and cute, and then I learned about the butterfly thing, and then I got depressing because then they die. But still, they are fuzzy and cute. But my point being is that even if you do think of something from your childhood that gave you joy and you haven't, you know what I did one time? I went on a swing, and I swinged. Swing, baby. Not only did my stomach muscles hurt later, but it was so joyful. Yes, good core. I didn't know that. I want to get a swing set. But when you do something that throws you back into your kidhood a little bit, that's something that brought you joy that you can't even, you're like, I would never get on a swing again, or I'd never get on my skis again, or any of that. If you do it and you go down a bunny hill, or you get on a swing and you swing and you feel the wind in your face again, or you go play with a little caterpillar. But what it does is it brings back your child joys, and that gives you that childlike soul that gives you the energy and the will to get up and go out and do something exciting or adventurous or just fulfilling.
So I have
Is that the last P?
Purpose, actually fulfilling. It was purpose. You got it.
Yay!
I have an idea. We need to talk to the town council in Avon and put a swing in the dog park.
Ooh, I
Should we do
love that.
Wouldn't she love that?
Yes,
Oh my
that's
God, I can play with
amazing.
dogs and swing and do core at the same time.
Yeah.
That's just a cute idea. I'm not kidding. I just walked by
love
one
that.
day. I was like, I'm getting on there. I was just happy as clam. It was so weird. So if people would like to go to you for advice, because I know that you do have your business, how do people reach out?
Oh, thank you for asking. So I have my own website, and it's my name. It's really easy. I'm CeCi Zak, and it's spelled CeCi Zak. And you can find me on the internet, and I think that's the easiest place to find me. Mom and Dad gave me a great name.
CeCi Zak. Yeah. It's like when you do your author, you just have to have me do the voiceover. And then you thought it was Dover, but then you get the book by CeCi Zak.
Actually, that was a
this
great
lady an
motivation for me to
Oscar.
get in front of my computer and start doing something.
Do it. CeCi Zak. All right. I got to say thank you so much for being here. Do you have any questions for CeCi before we sign out?
No, thank you so much for being here. This has been awesome, and I absolutely love it.
I
And
know.
I can't wait to make my list of 100 things, because I feel like there's certain things on there that, that's a great idea.
It's such a great idea. And you should even maybe think about 40 for 40.
40 for 40. That's
Do
right.
40, say yes to 40 things that you might not say yes to normally, except for things that are dangerous. I forbid it.
Tattoos will not be on the list.
Oh, tattoo. I'll take you to get your first tattoo. I'll hold your hand.
And she's going to wait till she's 60.
Yeah.
I did.
Maybe when I'm 60.
Yeah.
Give me a sagging boob right here on my chest. Because I never had any boobs. When I used to joke around saying I want to get a tattoo of big boobs on my chest.
It's never too late.
No,
I'll go and hold your hand for that one.
All right, it's a deal. Well, I can't thank you enough. CeCi Zak, she's a beautiful, wonderful soul, and you do so much for our community and for our minds and our well-being. Staying in touch with your emotional and your mental health is what we need in our lives, and you're one of the wonderful people that I'm super happy that we brought on to give another idea for people to look at and do some research into the breathing and the things that you talked about, and get out of your comfort zone. Do something, even if you're 20 for 20. I'll match your 20 with my 60. I haven't started yet, so hurry up. All right, so this has been wonderful. CeCi Zak, everybody, look her up and make sure that you are a good friend to this woman when you see her out and about, because she deserves it.
Right back at you, girl.
Yay.
Mwah.
Love you.
Love you
Girl time. Yay. Out of here.
I like that.